Hi everybody. So, here right now, a little bit tired. Uh, Humidity's kind of been kicking my ass. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of heat. Uh, I like to use air conditioner in the house and in my car especially. I will not use the air conditioner because I know what it's like to not have it. So, if I have it, I'm gonna use it. Let's put it that way. Um, it's funny because I'm not even a huge fan of cold either. Well, okay, I don't mind cold as long as I can have my jacket. I don't like when it is like windy and cold. That that annoys the hell out of me and hurts me. Yeah. So I guess I kind of like fall, autumn weather, minus the what do you call it? You know how when the sun goes down earlier? I'm not a huge fan of that too. I prefer when the sun stays up longer, like how it does in the summer. Like if I could, I'd probably have it like the sunlight of summer, but the temperature of fall, where it's not freezing your ass off. Yeah. But let's see. Today I mostly just took care of some things at home. I did record some more stuff. It's still not finished. I don't know, because I went back and looked at it, and for some reason, it didn't give me the same feeling as it did the day before, if that makes sense. I don't know, it might be because I'm not in that mindset currently. I have to look at it more. Like, I really do want to get this album out this month of July. I really do. Like, it's halfway done at least. It's at least halfway done. I just need to really sit down and work on it. It's just that a lot of things have been going on, and work eats a lot of my time again. Uh, Irony. It'd be so cool if even if there was a way, I don't know, if I like won the lottery or one of my albums decided to sell, or I don't know if I got a sync license or something. Yes, then I could just focus more on creative work and not so much office work. But again, another discussion for another time, I suppose. I still want to make one of those day in the life videos. Because I think mine would be both brutally honest, but also borderline parody. Um, I'm really hungry. I'm tired though. I don't know, I might be more tired than hungry. Unless my tiredness is because of my hunger. Hungry. I don't want to do anything right now. I just want to sit here and watch TV. I kind of miss doing this because there was a while where I didn't really watch TV, and it wasn't because like it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't watch TV. It was more like I'd get home from work and I'd immediately have to go out again, and then I'd come back home later again at night, and by the time I got, settled in, I was about to just pass out, fall asleep. So TV was more like in the background kind of thing, like as background noise or ambience. Because I've never been like a huge fan of silence. Silence, especially like Indoor silence weirds me out. Or where you can only hear like the air conditioner or like the creaking of the house sometimes. Yeah, I always need like either music or TV playing somewhere in the background. It just makes things feel more alive, I guess. In nature, like outside, I don't mind silence too much because you'll hear the birds, the wind, I guess crickets or something. But yeah, I want to watch some movies too, but I need time. It's funny because like I'll have some time off this week, but it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be like I don't want to say it's not gonna be like fun time off. It's gonna be more like catch up time off, if you know what that's like, where you have a day off, but you're really just playing catch up and try to do all the things that you weren't able to do normally in the week. So yeah, I just feel like I'm on a treadmill and the speed keeps going and the incline keeps going. It's a little frustrating. Sometimes it pisses me off. Other times it just makes me a little exhausted. Because I'm at the point where I'm falling asleep, and even if I sleep more hours, I still feel tired because I'm realizing that I'm going to sleep tense. Like I'm not really like resting, I'm just closing my eyes, going to sleep, and then when I wake up, I still feel the same, if not worse, than when I fell asleep. Now, if I go to sleep, like, I had a headache, right? And I went to sleep. The headache went away at least. So that's like one plus, is that the headache went away. But I still felt the exhaustion. And it's funny because in a lot of ways, I shouldn't feel this way. Even if we look at it work-wise, physically, my current job isn't physically demanding. Like my other jobs were physically demanding. You're always like running here, running there, doing this, doing that, lifting, pushing things, a lot of hands-on work. And I don't know. Maybe mental exhaustion erodes you more than physical sometimes. That's what I'm getting, or starting to feel like. Because even before, I'd come home from work, and if I was tired, I'd eat something, I'd go outside, go for a walk, I would do something. But now, when I go home, I don't really want to do anything. I have to kind of make myself do things. Thank goodness that I have creative outlets. It helps with expression, but I don't know if I feel healed or rejuvenated. If not, just it's like I'm doing maintenance on myself. And honestly, I say thanks to anybody who's kept watching this, because this is just a stream of consciousness right now, if that's the word. Again, these specific videos is more like a journal for me to reflect on later. Yeah. I was gonna do a writing one, but I figured a video one would be better. Just easier to manage and look back on. Because I used to have the written ones I used to write, and I stopped writing journals right before 2020. I want to say 2019. I think I had like 10. I had like 10 journals that I had written, spanning from like my last year of high school to about 2019. So it was almost a decade worth of journals that I wrote, yeah. And it was interesting looking back at them and seeing like the stuff I was dealing with back then versus, at the time when I was reading them. Some pieces I remember, some I don't. It's probably for a good reason. Damn, I really hope the audio is not bad on this recording. I just remember thinking, there wasn't anything that could be done for some situations. Or there were some situations where communication or miscommunication was the big factor. And I know that sometimes you can't always get your words out right, or you can't get across your ideas. I often wonder if not having a cell phone was also a variable, because I didn't have a cell phone until much later. I didn't have a cell phone in high school or even early college or even mid-college. Yeah, I didn't have a real working cell phone until I graduated college, basically, because I had to pay for my phone, and a phone bill at the time wasn't in my budget, because I was only working these small part-time jobs here and there that had varying schedules. Like, there were some times where you'd work, right, and then you could next week not be on the schedule at all, or maybe have 3 hours on the schedule, and that's not even any money, especially because they're gonna tax you when you get paid on that. So imagine working 3 hours and then still getting taxed. so it's like minimum wage. I was getting $20. So for the 3 hours, because I was only making $7 and change. Thinking about that is what the hell. But yeah, I didn't have a cell phone for a long time, and really only in the recent year, I'll say 2 years, have I had a decent cell phone. I couldn't do any of this. I couldn't even record a video on my old stuff. The phone would overheat. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, because I'm good at computers, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do originally. And I wonder if that's been the cause of me feeling always I've always had that feeling of catch up. I'm always having to chase or catch up. And I wonder if it's because of that, you know? Because there's things that you're good at that you want to do, and then there's things that you're good at that you may not want to do, but maybe you do it because you're good at it. I don't know. I don't know if that's how to describe it. I'm good at computers and technology, but I always thought I was much better at things like writing, video editing, music stuff, dance, photography. I always thought I was better at all those other things, much better than computers. And I was more willing to learn these things. I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's been the cause of my crisis. I don't know if it's a crisis. I've been working in computers for almost 10 years now, and I still feel like I'm playing catch up. And it's a funny field to work in, because there's always new stuff, there's always things to learn. And I don't want to say I'm tired of learning, but there are some times where I just want to do my job and go home and have time to do other things, rather than try to reinvent the wheel, or make things harder than they need to be. Because I think it's irony when you work in technology and things become complicated for almost no reason, or it's almost like, uh, they have the, I don't know how to pronounce this, planned obsolescence, where they plan to make things obsolete on purpose. Because I've never been in that mindset to do things like that. Like with software programming, they'll make version 1.1.111. I'm not even saying the numbers right, but you know what I mean, right? 1.1, 111, 1.1, something like that. Me, I've always been of the mindset of whatever I make is going to be the final version, so it better be good and have everything that it needs to be. So to like purposely, with intention, make things incomplete, it goes against my own work ethic and what I believe. But I guess that's how the companies would make money, and that's just in general. So I don't know. Like, I would say a lot of people I've met in the field, they seem pretty passionate about technology and the computers. A lot of them probably grew up with them or been around with them for years, decades, or their whole life. Technically, if we're talking about computers, I was exposed to computers as a child, but no, I wouldn't say anything super in depth. Like, my earliest memories of computers is probably playing pinball games, solitaire, and that's really it, honestly. Because I didn't really. Oh, my games aren't there. My PC games used to be over there. My old PC games for like the 90s. I don't know where they went. They're not on the shelf anymore. Yeah, I used to play. There was a pinball game. It was Creep Night. I did also play Space Cadet Pinball. I love that game. And I played Minesweeper, Solitaire. There was this one game that was kind of like Galaxian or Space Invaders. It was kind of like those two. I used to play that, and I used to play X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, the Star Wars one. I loved that game. Oh, sorry, my nose itches. But yeah, that was really my first introduction to computers, was games. And we didn't have internet, from what I recall, until later. I'm trying to think. I don't remember going on the internet until like maybe 2000 or 2001. I want to say it was either 2000 or 2001 that I recall first really going on the internet. And I remember one of the first things I looked for was like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, that was fun. But I didn't know how to really use a computer. I was kind of scared to use a computer because I was always afraid I'd break it. I recall elementary school, we had the computer labs, and you do the little assignments they give you on the computer. Usually it's like math or language arts, English, whatever they want to call it, grammar. And I remember that in math class we had, was it Cool Math or something like that? There was this little game that had like a lunar lander, and I used to like try to crash it into the moon just to see the pieces fly. What was it? What else? Just I just remember that. Later, like in middle school, there's other things to look up, like things like music, memes, just parody videos and stuff. YouTube. No, YouTube wasn't in middle school yet. I started using YouTube in high school. Wow. Yeah, I think I was 15 when I opened my YouTube channel, or started it. Yeah, YouTube and MySpace were the big ones for me in high school. And then everyone went to Facebook for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why everybody went to Facebook. I remember all my friends went there, and then I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And when I got there, I was like, this is boring. All you can do is like things and leave comments. You can't do anything else. There's no bulletin board. There's no HTML. There's no customization. And everybody's using their real names. That was the thing that weirded me out, is that people on Facebook, when I got there back in like 2009, I thought it was strange that people use their real names on the internet and their pictures, and then put like all their information, like how old they were and all that. Because I was taught like not to do that. You know, as a kid, you go on the internet, don't use your real name and your information. But I was like, what the fuck? that was weird to me. But yeah, I'm sorry, I went on a tangent. Yeah, like a lot of my colleagues, you know, they grew up with computers or they lived through it. And me, I didn't really start using computers like heavily until I made my YouTube channel. That's when I started really using computers. So high school, and even then I wasn't like I guess you could say like a office level, because I didn't really know how to use Microsoft Office. I only knew how to use Word and PowerPoint kind of, but I used PowerPoint as like a joke. Because it wasn't until later I got actual computer training, like my last 2 years of high school, and that's when I really learned how to use the computer and the internet. Unfortunately, I wish I had learned coding, but I wasn't aware like that we even had those kind of classes available until I was like right about to graduate, like the year before. So I wish I had been able to pick up coding when I was younger, but I didn't know. I didn't know what was available at the time. But yeah, looking back at it, it's always felt like I was playing catch up with computers, despite, you know, all the time I've had with them since then. Yeah, 'cause shit, I didn't even have good internet before. I didn't have good internet until like almost 2021. And that was only because I had a full-time job finally. I got promoted at one of my old jobs, so I was able to afford a decent internet. It used to take me like 3 hours to upload a YouTube video. Like if I were to upload this video right now that I'm recording on my old internet, I don't think it would happen. I don't think it would happen. I think I'd have to leave the computer on, uploading overnight, even longer than that, and just hope that it doesn't crash and fail. Because I had trouble uploading videos before that were like 3 minutes, 5 minutes long. That's why I really learned how to edit before, because I realized whatever I uploaded, it had to be what I really wanted it to be, and it had to be the exact length. I couldn't waste time, I couldn't waste effects, because however big the file was how long it's going to take to upload. And that's if it didn't crash. So, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's become like a huge tangent and talk. But, I don't know. I guess if you follow through and watch this entire thing, all I really want to say is I think sometimes it's important to follow your gut. I don't know. Would following your heart and following your gut be the same thing? Because sometimes I think you do know yourself. Like sure, sometimes it's good to get, you know, input from others or thoughts, but I think in the end, with all things considered, you know yourself. You know who you are, what you're good at, what you want, what you need for the most part. I'd say that you know yourself better than anyone else. And I think that is something that I might have struggled with, I think, for the past decade or so. More times than others, and it's tough because I know that in a lot of ways you could just pick yourself every time. You know, you could. Like technically you could. There's nothing that says that you couldn't. And I know sometimes we also try to be considerate of others and, you know, what our actions cause because there is consequences for our actions, be it good or bad. Um, and that's where things get complicated. But I guess I do want to say that it's important to know yourself and take care of yourself and also pick yourself. Uh, because if you don't, you know, who will? You don't want to. You don't want to be playing catch up the rest of your life, or questioning yourself, or wondering what if, or what could be different. And I don't think dwelling on the past is a good thing either. So it's good to learn from stuff, but I would say don't dwell on it. And I know some people will probably bring up things like affirmations and thoughts. And sure, yeah, but I think it's also a little bit more than that because you want to make sure that you're okay, that you're happy. So, yeah, I'll think I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for now. I need to eat something, take my medicines. But hope everyone's all right, and hope you all have a good night or day, whichever it is. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.